hello and good morning to Joey Sommerville.
Top of the morning to you.
Yeah, see, not to be confused with Jimmy Sommerville, because he definitely doesn't have the funk.
I don't know, Jimmy. Maybe he does.
No, he doesn't. Trust me, he doesn't.
Okay.
Mind you do look very similar. I don't know. So you could be... No, maybe
So he's a
not,
good-looking guy too, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, listen. I was looking through some of your credits earlier, and you've played alongside some of my favourites, people like Earl Clue.
Yes.
Living Inside Your Love, what an album that is.
Oh my God, yeah! I remember the first time. That was he was one of my childhood idols.
Same here.
And I got to, I grew up and got to do the things that I dreamed about doing when I was a kid. So it's pretty cool.
Amazing. Yeah, that album, actually, Living Inside Your Love, has just popped up on my radar after so many years, and I'd completely forgotten about it. And it popped up again. I've been listening to it again. It's like, I've forgotten how good this is.
And timeless.
And you got him on a couple of your things, haven't you?
Yeah, well,
Desire.
Desire, yeah. There's a tune we did. So I wrote that tune several years before we were able to record it. And I always heard, the song was written written before it was recorded. And I always heard him as like being the perfect voice, for that song. And when I first had put it together, I couldn't get together with him. The schedule didn't work out. And so fast forward, I think it was like maybe 5 or 6 years later that we finally were able to do it. And it was so cool to be, and this has happened to me multiple times, is that I've been in a situation where I'm sitting next to and working with people that I basically idolized, when I was growing up.
How did you keep it together?
It's funny. It's difficult because, you don't want to be, you don't want to make the artist uncomfortable, the person uncomfortable, because oh, Mr. Clue, I've listened to you all the time, and I just love your stuff, blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's just, it's okay, kid.
He'd be fine. He'd be fine with that. He'd be fine with that.
He's one of the coolest people you will ever meet. He is such a gentleman, such a kind person, and I was truly blessed to have him on that song. Yeah.
And another one, Jeff Lorber as well. He's been around the block a few times.
Yeah, he knows a little something about something. I've done several cuts with Jeff, and Jeff is funny. He's a brilliant musician, brilliant piano player, brilliant composer, producer, and just to be able to work. Again, that's another guy. I remember, so the first time I saw Jeff Lorber, I was in college, and this is early 80s, and he was like a rock star. He had the hair, and Kenny G was playing with him.
Wow.
Kenny G was at that time, he was Kenny Gorlick. He wasn't Kenny G.
Right.
And he was playing in the Jeff Lorber Fusion. And I saw them live at Toad's Place. There's a club called Toad's Place in New Haven, Connecticut. Legendary club, still there. And he had his keyboards, he had these synthesizer modules. And so he played keys, but he also had these modules that produced sound, and he had a rack that was the size of a refrigerator loaded with keyboard modules in it. Sure. And they were up there, and they were just giving the crowd the business. I mean, they were playing like crazy, crazy cool. And then fast forward once again, this, because I think I was probably 18, 19 or something like that. I was barely into getting the club kind of a thing. And fast forward to, 20, 30, however many years, I'm working with him and making records with Jeff Lorber. So it's
wow.
It's really cool. It's been really cool.
Well, that's because you put it out there, you see. You put it out there. You wanted to work with him, clearly.
Oh, yeah.
So you put it out there and it came to you. So
and that is how it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything is something you imagine.
The law
first.
Of attraction, you just put it out there.
You put it out there and it comes back. Yeah,
perfect.
Absolutely.
I suppose we ought to talk about why you're actually here. All the way from Atlanta, Georgia to good old Javier. So what brings you to this part of the world?
Well, we have a house, my wife and I, in Benicia, Costa. Mm-hmm. And we ended up here. I played a festival in Mallorca in 2018, I believe it was, and fell in love with, it was the coolest. we were there for a week for this festival, and I had my show in this all-star jam session that I had to do. The rest of the time we had a rental car driving around the island of Majorca, and every time I turned around, I was like, wow, this is cool. This food's great. Look at that. Look at this. This is the coolest place I've ever been. I don't want to go home. I didn't want to go home. So I called Delta, like, this is 2 days before we were scheduled to go back.
Wow.
I was like, how much is it going to cost? I was like, how much is it going to cost for me to stay a couple of 3 extra days? Because I can't leave. Yeah. So we stayed over 2 or 3 extra days and just loved it. And so we got back to Atlanta, and we were thinking about, that was really cool. You know, I'd like to live there. I would like to be there all the time. This is better. So we were very much looking at property in Majorca to the point where, you know, we had talked with a real estate person and an attorney and on and on and on. And then COVID hit.
Right.
And the world shut down. And my dad died, and, you know, we couldn't move. And nobody could move. So once they eased the COVID restrictions, this is 2022. Oh, so there's a little in between. Our handyman, our long-term handyman in Atlanta, his mom, she said, before you go to Majorca, you should see where I grew up. Her dad had a house in Altea.
Right.
And she said, I grew up in a place called the Costa Blanca. It's the most beautiful part of Spain. You really should check it out before you go to Majorca. So, okay, so we looked online and looked at the pictures and the videos and like, man, this does look pretty cool. And we decided to come and check out this area. So we came to, in the fall of 23, we came to, or 20, is it 22? Yeah, fall of 22. We came to Calpe and rented a place in Moraira for like 3 weeks and just checked the area out and went around and like, yeah, we really like it. And so that's how we ended up getting a house here. And now we found a house in Benicio Costa. That's how we ended up here. So now I'm actually going to do a show at the Auditori in Teulada, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, well, we better talk about that because it's only a couple of weeks away, isn't it?
Yeah, it's March 15th, Saturday, March 15th at 7 p.m. I'll be at the Auditori Teulada Moraira, which is a beautiful venue. It's an absolutely gorgeous facility. And I'm bringing my band from the U.S.
Wow.
And a couple of special guest
Bringing
stars.
Jeff.
No, Jeff's not coming.
Earl? Get Earl on.
Jeff and Earl, they're not, you know, I'll make a call, see if they could come.
Yeah, come on. They'd do it for you.
They might. You know, it's like, you never know until you ask.
Exactly that.
As of now, Jeff Lorber and Earl Klugh won't be at this show, but it's going to be an incredible show nonetheless.
Oh, of course it is.
And I've got a couple of guest artists that I'm featuring, some younger folks that I've worked with, and I really respect their talent. They're great performers and entertainers. A young lady named Dara Carter, who's a beautiful pianist and vocalist, songwriter, and then Tyler Neal, who's a great guitar player. Actually, Tyler's been here to work with me, and we popped up at a couple of places along the way around here, just to go to like a jam session. It's like there's a jam session at a place called Saxo, and like
that's right, yeah.
Billy Brink and Janet, they wonderful people.
Yeah,
Sat in with
Billy.
them. Yeah,
Billy.
okay. So so Tyler was here working with me, and we went down and just had a ball down with Billy and Janet and the whole crew down there. But Tyler's a great guitar player, singer, upcoming rock star, let's call him that way. And I'm producing his album, which is coming out this year. So that's exciting. So he's going to be there.
You've done quite a lot of that, haven't you? The production side.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, I wear that hat too.
Yeah.
So I've gotten to work with some cool people where I'm not necessarily playing. I'm inspiring. I can't say supervising. That's trying to inspire them to be the best that they can be. Yeah.
Cool.
And setting up a framework and foundation, in terms of the musicians, the songs, the studio, the mixes, blah, 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 to make that artist shine and let them be the best artist that they can be.
Perfect. Okay. So listen, if anybody wanted to come and see you at this do in Teulada, how do we get tickets?
Tickets are easy. So you can go to soundicaglobal.com. It's SOUNDICA global.com.
Right.
You can get them through the Auditori website, although it's easy. I think the links are easier with Soundica Global. And you can go to the Auditori box office. Some people,
Sure.
that are here just walk up to the box office, and the tickets are very reasonably priced.
Good.
So we may try to make sure it's like, all right, let's just make it so that people can actually get here and come and
Sure.
enjoy this proposition. Yeah.
Sounds like a top night.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And there's a resort called Rituals. Then they have a place here in Javia, and they have a place in Moraira. It's a beautiful place, and they were kind enough to give us some packages to do for giveaways. So we're going to have some giveaways for spa days at Rituals and
Nice.
night dinner for two, blah blah blah. Both some of them are for Javia, so I have several packages. We're going to give them away during the show.
Oh,
it's going to be
great.
fun. Yeah, we're going to have fun.
Not just a show.
No. See,
But you come away with something other
it's
than
gonna
the
be a party
experience.
I don't just do shows. That's not what I do.
Wow.
No, it's an event. It's a whole experience as a proposition. We are going to have a party. You will be entertained and you will feel good when you'll get lifted. Come and get lifted.
And you might come away with a prize.
Yes, and you come away with a prize, some great music, and some prizes.
Yeah, not bad. Not
Hey,
bad.
we're trying to make
So
it
listen,
easy.
this Might As Well Be You came out, it was about 5 years ago.
Yeah, so that was the single I did. Yeah, I think it's like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
But the video for it looked like a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Where,
so
where was that shot?
Some of it was shot in Atlanta, and there's an organization. I'm in addition to doing music, I'm a community-minded person, so I work with foundations and organizations, music education, blah, blah, blah. There's a program in the U.S. called Big Brothers and Big Sisters, where adults mentor younger people who don't necessarily they may not have a father figure or a mother figure or whatever. But so I had a lot of kids from Big Brothers and Big Sisters that are in the video for Might As Well Be You, because the song says somebody's going to get what you want. It might as well be you. Going back to that, what you were talking about, like you think of something and it just happens. Somebody's going to get what you want. It might as well be you. And so and part of it was shot in Mallorca, actually. So I got some footage when I was in Mallorca.
Perfect.
And used that in the
It
in
did.
the
I was
video.
going to say, I wasn't sure. I didn't recognize it from around here, but it definitely looked. I definitely knew it was somewhere in Spain.
It's Mallorca. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, listen, we're going to play that in a sec. First of all, let's quickly reiterate how we can get those tickets.
Sound good. So the show is March 15th, 7 p.m. at the Auditori Teulada Moraira. You can get tickets by going to soundicaglobal.com. Soundicaglobal.com. SOUNDICA Global, GLOBAL.com. There's clear links right
Do you
there.
know, we're going to have to get him to do some voiceovers.
Well, in another life,
I was gonna say.
I actually do that,
I know.
and my wife
I
does
know.
as well. So
I know.
yeah,
Cool. Excellent. Well, we'll have to drag you in for that, definitely.
No problem.
Now we know you're local.
Hey, no problem.
That's it. No getting away from it now. Okay, listen, thanks for coming in. It's been
Thank you so
great
much.
to talk to you.
Oh man, this has been fun. Thank you so much.
And we'll see you on the 15th.
Absolutely.